My name is Rimington-Pounder and I'm a junior tenant at Radcliffe Chambers. I completed my pupillage just over a year ago and I've since been developing a broad commercial chancery practice. I've been asked to talk about how much time I typically spend in court. I'm going to talk about three things. First, how much time I spent in court as a pupil. Secondly, how much time I spend in court as a tenant. And finally, what impact the coronavirus pandemic has had on that. So first, pupillage. Radcliffe Chambers is fairly unusual for commercial chancery sets in that its pupils will regularly be on their feet during their practicing second six. I think that's a real strength about Radcliffe Chambers because it means that you are gaining invaluable advocacy experience very early on. As a pupil, I was in court about twice a week during my second six, and those court appearances could involve anything from winding up petitions and bankruptcy petitions to fast-track trials. Secondly, how much am I in court as a tenant? It's important to bear in mind that how much you're in court very much depends from barrister to barrister. And that depends on how junior you are, how litigious your practice area is, and how litigious you are as a person. For example, juniors who specialise in insolvency work are likely to be in court more frequently than those who have a more advisory practice, which is often the case with those who specialise in trusts or pensions. Personally, I've spent a large part of my first year on secondment at a solicitor's firm, specialising in BVI law and working in their dispute resolution department. I've recently been working solely on one matter, and so I've only been in court once in the past month. But for the rest of the year, I was in court about 2 to 3 times a week, and I balanced those court appearances with my paperwork practice. Finally, what impact has the coronavirus pandemic had on how much I'm in court? Initially, in March and April, there were far fewer court hearings as a lot of them were vacated or adjourned. And so my practice became more paper-based. However, the courts are now fully equipped to hear remote hearings. And since March, I've attended many hearings by telephone and over Skype. That includes even the winding up court, where there can be, say, 30 attendees. It also looks like remote hearings are here to stay for the time being, and probably beyond the pandemic as well. They can be much more convenient and cost efficient for all parties involved. Overall, I would say that my practice at Radcliffe Chambers has a really good balance between paperwork and also appearing in court and gaining that essential advocacy experience.